So this is the Matt and Mike podcast experience that you are listening to on YouTube, coming soon to
as many formats as we can.
Yes. Hopefully one day 8-bit. I mean, 8-track.
8-bit?
8-bit. the audio is going 8-bit.
So it's less than Super Nintendo, which was 16-bit.
Yeah. Now you're playing with power. Okay, so first thing, last week we talked about the Star Wars prequels. From that,
we didn't introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah. Well,
who are you?
Well, we said this is a Matt and Mike podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, they would know that we're
the smart listener would probably know.
Well, I guess we can introduce ourselves. I'm Mike.
It's me, Matt.
Nice. Well, I guess my full name, me, Mike, the third, junior, senior.
You got your name from your Uncle Mike.
He's like, Yahoo! But yeah, we did Star Wars prequels. Of course, that was probably the darkest time in the Star Wars, besides the holiday special.
Yeah, probably true.
And now I think we're talking about today, at the beginning at least, one of the brightest. Do
you think so?
I think so, yes. I saw the trailer for Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I thought it was pretty sweet. What did you think,
I also
Matt?
saw it, and we may have a disagreement.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
Should we get into it?
Well, not physically.
I'm rolling on my sleeves right now.
Oh, God, no.
We're going to go 1920s boxing style.
A bunch of
bare knuckle.
Out of shape dude's going to be doing nothing. Okay, go for it, bro.
So, yeah, the trailer...
Did you write notes about it?
Yeah.
I did. Sorry.
Not about the trailer. I have handwritten notes.
Matt shaking my paper that I wrote. I have ruined your illusion. You master of disguise.
This is the second trailer for Star Wars Episode 7.
That's right.
The Force Awakens. Or as I'm going to call it, The Force Disappoints. Come on. Why are you laughing?
Because I know you're full of shit.
No. Right out of the bat.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
Right out of the bat.
The first thing I thought after watching this trailer, where is Boss Nass?
See, that problem is I don't come up with funny stuff like this.
What's funny about Boss Nass? One of the most endearing, beloved characters from...
Jar Jar, get the fuck out.
He stole my heart. And now he's nowhere to be seen in the sequel trilogy?
Where's Qui-Gon? There's always a bigger fish. Filet.
Words to... That would have been a great McDonald's tie-in. Why didn't they do that?
Because I just thought of it now.
Damn it.
And they didn't.
So yeah, no Boss Nass.
The sound you hear is this in a Dixie cup. I mean, anyway.
So yeah, that's the first of my litany of major problems.
What does that mean? Litany?
I just have a huge list.
Lid.
Secondly, Chewbacca doesn't have any gray hairs. I don't think so. Dude is old.
Does he
by
not?
now. No. He looks even younger than he did in the originals. Where's the quality control on these movies? I'm calling that into question. I want to see a white-haired Wookiee.
What's going on with your phone? I do have to kind of say that was kind of weird. I didn't think it. I mean, there was no white hair with him, right? I guess.
No.
Oh.
Harrison Ford's got a little gray action going on.
Like yeah.
But yeah, so
just for nerfers.
No Boss Nass, no gray-haired Wookiee. Thumbs down. What are your thoughts?
Mark Hamill narrates the whole thing, and that's... I don't know. I thought that was so awesome to finally hear his voice again.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
If you like shit...
Here's the big shock. I was kidding.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I thought it was great.
Damn. Mike, a.k.a. Matt, is pretty good at this stuff. He had me going. He actually didn't have me going, but he did actually last time we were doing this.
I gotcha.
I was actually going to do that where I came up with my own stuff and then kind of like... Of course I'm relying on other things, man.
That's okay.
It was a piece of dog poo-poo. But yeah,
So what'd you think?
okay, so I was like watching it, and I had to like pause it real quick. But when I got back to actually like watching it,
Why? Because you couldn't believe Boss Nass wasn't in it, so you couldn't believe.
I was reeling. There was no Sebulba.
You had to.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I was just for the few seconds that I saw and heard, like Mark Hamill talking and like the Star Destroyer like crashed on a planet and other stuff like that. I was like, and they're like, it's very physical and very action, and I was just so like, it was Star Wars, but it was so unlike anything I'd ever seen for Star Wars. It was like grown up Star Wars, and I was like, holy shit, like they're not fucking around.
Yeah, it.
And they pulled out all the guns because they were like, they had Mark Hamill narrating. They had at the end, you know, I was going to say Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi shows up as a ghost.
I couldn't believe it.
Ghost hunters in space.
Sir Alec Guinness from Beyond the Grave.
Well, they'll probably have Yoda. I'm sure he'll show up as a ghost at some point. Maybe. I don't know. He might not. I was thinking about that, though. You never know.
There's unlimited potential.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Especially now that they have, like... I always kind of wanted them to do the sequels. Mm-hmm. And this is awesome that they're doing that now. But, like, Mark Hamill, and, like, he's like, yeah, I have it. My sister has it. And you have it. And I was like, holy crap. It's probably, like, his niece or nephew or something.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Boss Nass.
It's like the CG.
Damn it!
The CG, crap. Man, I'm blanking on Star Wars names today.
What?
The Fat Slug.
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, I know, right? Mm-hmm. That I couldn't remember that.
That's okay.
Pizza the Hutt. But yeah, like, should just have the CG version of him.
Yeah.
that they put in the...
That didn't work out too well.
Yeah. Well, that... Okay, I'm going to go off on a tangent. I better not do that. I was just going to say,
this is a no tangent zone.
I know.
Sorry, Mike. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, like, the one thing, at least that I can't really say bad about, like, that scene is that they do have footage that they were going to, like, eventually do something with, but it just wasn't practical. But the rest of that shit was just... We're talking about the scene where, like, Han Solo meets Jabba the Hutt before the other parts of the movie, when he's a lot less immobile for some reason. Well, I guess that's back when they thought that Jabba the Hutt wasn't going to be a big slug. They didn't know.
It was a guy in a fur coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They were still writing, they're like, what the fuck is this guy going to be?
And that was a deleted scene from the original movie, rightfully so.
Yeah.
That was put back in for no
reason. Because it made no sense, because it was like, he's super fat, and then in the course of, like, a movie... Well, he's skinny, and then he gets super fat to the point where he can't get off that barge, and he chokes to death. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but yeah, the new trailer, really, really awesome. A lot of action. I thought, like, they kind of went hard with, like, the old, like, mainstays, but it was cool that all they really showed was, like, new stuff, like, new characters to kind of, like, tie it all together, which I think is, like, with the prequels, they did a thing where they went, like, all new, but they would put, like, things from... It kind of felt like they were shoehorning in, like, the other stuff somewhat. But, I don't know, it seems really good.
Yeah, it's going to be a handoff to the next generation.
Right.
I think. But, you know, that's what they have to do at this point, and I hope they do it well and, you know, create some actual new characters that are just as enjoyable as the old characters.
I have to say, like, I like that they had, like... the stormtrooper guy, the black stormtrooper, and then like the woman. It seemed like they might be like heroes, and I was like, that would be sweet.
Yeah, I think
actually get some like people besides just the same old people in there.
Right,
that'd be cool.
Right, yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, like R2-D2 looks like better than ever.
Yeah,
he's like,
it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and then the Darth Vader mask that was like crushed. I was like, that's weird. I don't remember that being crushed, but.
Well, it burned up at the end.
In re-entry. It's like, I'll be your hero, babe.
You are my hero. Watch him as he goes. That should be the special edition.
Darth Vader should have like jumped out of the Star Destroyer like Master Chief on a bomb going towards the planet.
Oh yeah, and he's wearing a cowboy hat. And he's like, Yahoo!
He's like, yeehaw, Mr. President. I'm like,
It's true.
It comes out of a cake.
Wait,
Yeah, this is not making any
you've
sense.
gone too far, sir.
This podcast is a podcast.
Pump the brakes. That's all I'm saying.
Bye, guys. Okay, so yeah, it was really good. Originally we weren't going to talk about this, obviously, because I didn't know about it until like they kind of just shot it out of the gate, and it's blowing up Twitter and everything. So rightfully so, because it's not like the first one was one of those things where they showed it and it was like, this is cool, I'm excited for it, but there's so much speculation. It's like going into the prequels, like we were like, yes, it's awesome. Now it's like you have to be a bit more cautious, but.
The funniest part of all this is it really makes me have flashbacks to 1999.
We're getting all wrapped up and there's no way this could be bad.
No,
yeah,
we were just as excited when we saw that trailer.
I know,
as we are now. Like, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
More Star Wars,
right?
And I think that that just points out how much everyone loves Star Wars.
Yeah,
more than anything.
That's true. I think because I guess really you can't really say. I think maybe the only thing I can take solace in that is a lot of filmmakers today are people that grew up and like alongside us, so they're more like, hey, I want to do practical effects whenever possible. So hopefully we'll get more of that. I didn't see anything in the trailer that looked fake, really. I mean, like there were. I don't think there was really anything that I was like, man, that looks like super horrible. But by this point, like CG has gotten really, really good. Like at least with Jurassic Park, it looks freaking awesome. Jurassic World and
yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's stuff you're like, yeah, that's not real, but
I think it'll look a lot like the last couple Star Trek movies. It kind of has the same look to it, I think.
Yeah, there was a shot in there that I was like, it's a little not Star Wars, where it like zooms in. You remember that shot? Yeah, in the trailer. I was like, well, whatever.
The style will be a little bit
not
as old-fashioned.
Right, I wonder if they'll have the cereal wipes. That'll be interesting.
They better, or I'm out.
That's just to show how much nerds we are talking about cereal wipes. People are like, "What's a cereal wipe?"
I think didn't they have like star wipes and stuff like that in there?
Star wipes?
Like where it's a star and it's like it expands.
Like in the trailer?
No, in the original movies.
Oh, probably yeah.
Or like a spiral, like weird.
They have a spiral?
I think they did.
Dang.
Maybe not. Maybe
I think.
Maybe I'm exaggerating, but that's what it felt like.
It's like Mario Paint when you like erase something and the rocket ship like takes it up.
These hand signals really come across great on the audio.
Yeah, sure. I'll just describe it. A rocket ship takes flight. Afternoon delight. No.
Oh my.
No, it goes up in the air and it takes like the thing off the screen. And I'm still doing the hand gesture and no one can see it, so it doesn't matter.
No, I decided to watch my language after I found out that your mom listens to this. So. I'm sorry for last week when I was cursing.
You can curse all you want. This is our podcast.
Fuck that! Alright, next.
That's the appropriate.
Do you have any other
things to say about that?
Yeah, any final thoughts or
No, I mean I was really, really like just excited for it. Like when I was excited about it before, but this just cements how excited I am for it. Like I can't really say. I mean, I guess I feel bad to say this, but if somebody were to say that looked like shit, I'd be like, "Fuck you! You don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Yeah, I mean, I guess the time for criticism will be after the movie comes out. No.
I'm probably getting ahead of myself.
The trailer, you may have a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
get excited about it.
My problem is like I kind of get like open, like I have a really open mind even after all the prequels. Yeah. Because I guess I'm just kind of like,
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't know. Even though the prequels, like we did rag on them, it's still one of those things where I was like, I was very excited for them at the time, and I am very excited for Star Wars because it's always a new adventure.
Right.
So you never know what's going to happen, and I mean, if Star Wars the originals had sucked, nobody would have given a shit about the prequels or these movies. So, the originals are so great that people still give a shit about all this stuff today.
And the fact that we're seeing the main characters come back, is just still kind of mind blowing, even when I think about it. Yeah,
especially with like after Star Wars, a lot of times Harrison Ford and like Carrie Fisher just being like denying it, Mark Hamill like being like all for being Luke Skywalker and stuff, but like those actors just being like trying to distance themselves from those roles as much as possible, and like now seeing Harrison Ford like being like Chewie, we're home, and I'm just like, okay,
yeah,
where's that check?
Where's those gray hairs that Wookiee should have had? Come on.
He's like, well, Chewie, Where's the fucking money?
Cha-ching!
Actually, the biggest cash in I've
JJ.
ever seen
Where's my money?
was, you remember seeing Casper?
Yeah.
Where Dan Aykroyd goes to the house and they're like...
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was dressed
I only
as
saw it
like
in theaters.
unofficial Ghostbusters, and he's like... He runs out... He had like a dirty mustache, so he didn't even shave for the role. And he's like, who you gonna call? Somebody else. And I was like...
Yeah, I do kinda
he's like,
remember that.
cha-ching, as he's walking out. I'm like, dude... I mean, I can see, like, him doing that because he really likes Ghostbusters. Like, he's pushing it all the time.
Right.
But shave for the fucking movie, for Christ's sake. Like, Ray didn't have a fucking mustache. I'm like, and he never will.
Not my Ray.
Fucking Skull Vodka. There's a plug. Plug our podcast now. Now that we talk shit about you.
Yeah, give us the money, Aykroyd, now.
That fuck. I'm just kidding. Dan Aykroyd's awesome.
He is pretty great.
But,
He's an American hero. Wait, he's Canadian. Damn it.
well, fucking Chuck. Okay, so we're going to move on after the hour has passed now.
Yeah.
We also came up with an idea to do, this might be a mainstay, but like a recommendation each week. We're just trying to, we're doing this as we go along, making it up, so.
Okay.
How about we go alphabetical first? So you are first, me, Matt.
All right. My recommendation for the week is it's pretty timely because it's a movie that comes out actually today or tonight at midnight.
Really?
So after we're done with this podcast, I'm going to go straight to the theater.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, wait a minute. My God.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you like
Do you
malls?
smell the shit here?
Do you like malls?
malls?
Yeah.
Mall rats, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the cops that police them?
Oh, God. Paul Blart, too. No!
Let's get Paul blooded. Ha! Let's get Paul blooded. Let's get Paul blooded. Ha!
Keep segueing. Keep segueing.
Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Let's get blarded.
Nice.
That's my recommendation, even though I haven't even seen it. I know it's going to be 5 thumbs up.
Maybe we should just call
And
this
10
the,
stars.
the Blartcast.
If you want to start a Blartcast, I'm on board.
Sharkcast, more like it.
How about you?
What's your real pick? See, I need
Sadly,
to come up with stuff
I
like
probably will see Paul Blart.
this. There's nothing wrong with seeing stuff like that. Keeps Kevin James from eating his own shit.
That's the only thing.
She's gonna do it anyway. I'm not kidding. He's gonna be in Tiger Hell.
All right. My real recommendation is a movie I just saw recently.
Nice.
It's a new-ish movie called The Babadook.
Oh my God! It's so funny you just brought that up because Julie and Maureen and Zach saw that and they said it was so awesome. I haven't seen it yet, but I just heard it's so awesome.
Yeah. If you want to have nightmares,
Yeah,
you should definitely.
I heard
see
it's like definitely. I heard it's like really twisted. Like it's like definitely not what you would expect and stuff for the end and
Yeah.
other things, which is always good in a movie.
Well, I'll try not to say too much about it, but you probably know a little bit about it. But
Yeah, I mean I know a few things. I kind of read this so I wouldn't just be spooked.
yeah, it's one of those movies. It's a horror movie where is it really happening? Is it real?
Right.
Is it in someone's imagination?
Right.
And it's kind of up to you can interpret it however you want. It's
Yeah.
one of those kind of deals. But it's about a monster in a family's house
Right.
terrorizing them, basically. And they do a really good job of making it as horrifying as you could ever imagine.
Yeah. Dang.
And Mr. Babadook is a pretty amazing character.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to really see too much of him, but it counts when you do. So.
Yeah. Maureen dressed up as him.
Really?
We went to the horror
That's-
hound. Yeah.
It was probably
It
the
was
scariest
awesome.
thing ever.
Yeah, because she put like paint on and stuff so that it would like hurt. She had like the
Yeah.
everything, and I was just like, yeah,
And he has like real long, like sharp fingers.
yeah,
And he's like unnaturally tall.
yeah.
So it's stuff like that.
Kind of like
It
a
creeps me
scary,
out.
like a face with a Slender Man kind of deal.
Yeah.
Did you get a Baba Spook?
Yes. Nice.
You're like Baba. Ah!
I've been Baba. Spook. Like, Baba, Baba, Baba. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh God, creepy brothers. Okay, that's a good one, Matt.
Yep. How about you?
Well, I don't really have any jokes about my picks because this is deadly serious. Someone will die tonight. I'm not. Well, someone will, but I mean, hopefully it won't be us.
Oh, really?
Well, someone in the world dies like every few seconds, I think, right? Things just got dark on this podcast. Every breath you take is someone else's last breath around the world. Nice. Okay, so I'm picking the show The Flash on the CW. I got the first season on Amazon Prime, and I've been watching it. I've always liked I've not always been like a huge comic book person, but like within the last like 10 years I've really gotten into him and stuff, and like I think I like The Flash because he's like the comical hero, but he's also like very caring and stuff. But the show's pretty good. I mean, I like that they're actually like bringing the actual like bad guys from the comics into it.
Is it live action or
yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know how they have the Arrow?
Yeah, kind of.
Like it's in the same universe as that.
Okay.
But obviously, like, you know, the Flash's whole thing is that he can run like super fast. Like in the comic, there's like 4 different main Flashes: Barry Allen, Jay Garrick, Wally West, and Bart Allen, I think it is. And like the only people that are the only person that isn't related is like Jay Garrick. So I had to look all this up because a lot of this stuff is like it's very convoluted in
Does
comics.
it explain that in the show, or is that just like
it's just for
backstory?
Like backstory for if you were to like have to look online and be like just I'm trying to explain to people that have no clue who the Flash is, like who he is. He runs really fast. I mean, the way that he got his powers,
all I know.
yeah, the way he got his powers in like the comics and the show is a little bit differently because it's based on the Barry Allen one. He's like a crime scene investigator, and he started doing all this because his like mother was murdered. So kind of the whole Batman thing.
Okay.
And one day, as he's like around these chemicals, he gets struck by lightning, and then he gets the power to run at super speeds. So there's all kinds of different like villains he has, like the Captain Cold and Captain Boomerang. There's a lot of captains in the show. I mean, not in the show,
Mr. Freeze's brother.
Kind of. They actually, in the DC universe, they have like times when they team up, and they had like Mr. Freeze team up with like Captain Cold and like some other people. Yeah, it's
nice.
Because a lot of times, I think back in the day when they were writing characters, there was always a person that used like cold. There was always a person that used like heat.
Right.
And you know what I mean? So it was kind of like, there's a person that uses wind. It's like, okay, let's get fucking, original here, guys.
Yeah.
But they have like 2 of the main people I want to see is like Captain Boomerang. And he's like an Australian guy that like throws boomerangs and stuff. And
it's racist.
Yeah, I know, right? It's actually Mick Dundee. And then Gorilla Grodd, which is actually like a gorilla that is smarter than a human.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and he
pretty
can
cool.
use like telekinesis and stuff to like read people's minds. Yeah, he's got a lot of really weird. I think besides Batman, he's got like the second. Well, Batman or Superman, he's got like the second most, number of out there villains and kind of recognizable. Because I don't really know any like the Arrow's villains, like Green Arrow, and or the Green Lantern. Maybe just like the Sinestro. That's about it. But even that, you're just like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Batman has like the Joker and a ton of people that people have heard of. Superman, a little bit less so. I mean, there's Lex Luthor and like, I can name a bunch of people, but most people would be like, who the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Like Doomsday and stuff, but he's kind of like the Doomsday and Darkseid are like the Thanos or whatever the universe. But anyway, the show's good. It's I think also another recommendation Zach told me about was like if you like superhero stuff, the Daredevil show that they put on Netflix is supposed to be really, really good.
I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, I think my whole thing is like I love DC more than I love Marvel, but Marvel has been kicking way more ass than DC as far as like kind of like shows and like movies. Their cartoons aren't as great, but like if you're making billions of dollars in the box office, who gives a fuck about cartoons?
Yeah.
But oh well. Anyway, yeah, you should watch it if you like The Flash. I mean, it's probably the only show they've had out there so far that was reputable for The Flash. They had one back like in the day that wasn't that great, but it's pretty interesting because like they have they have the technology now to actually show him like going really fast, and then time will slow down for him because like he's running so fast.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
He can like vibrate his like hands so quickly that he can like, you know, go through stuff, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's kind of one of those things where like it's a tie-in to the Arrow. So if you were like into the Arrow and you watch the Flash, you'd be like, oh, this is cool. But if you were like a fan of the Arrow and you didn't really care about the Flash, you probably wouldn't like it. I don't know. I really like it, but I've kind of been a big fan of the Flash. So,
well,
once again, I brought up something no one gives a shit about.
No, I think a lot of people do. I mean, not knowing much about comic books and like all the different universes when like it all kind of jumbles together for me. So I don't
honestly, I don't really read a lot of comics because it's hard because they have so many different universes, and like they've spent so much time with Batman and Superman rebooting them and like doing so much stuff and banking all their money on them that they like lose sight of like Green Lantern, like Wonder Woman, the Flash, like Martian Manhunter, all these other great like heroes they have. So
they somehow have to differentiate one from the other, because a lot of comic book movies and shows kind of look the same, at least to someone who's not educated about it.
I think
it all seems kind of similar to me.
If I was going to be running it, like I would have a movie with Batman should always look super dark, and a movie with Superman should almost always be super bright, because they're almost like the opposite. Like Superman has troubles, but he's like almost always in like his city is very, very like nice, whereas Batman's city is always like someone's being shot like every moment of the day.
Would you say it's gothic?
I would say it's Gotham. What? But yeah, like, and then I mean other cities are so, you know, here and there. Like I think Green Arrow is more of like Batman, and Flash is more like, you know, they have like, and then I don't know, Wonder Woman's never been someone I really followed, but she has a place in there. I think when she's in the Justice League, it's good. Like, some heroes work really well in Justice League, and some are not that great by themselves, but it's just me.
But The Dark Knight made $1 billion, so everything should look like that now, right?
Which one was The Dark Knight again? Was that the one with Bane?
The one before that.
Oh.
With the Joker.
The Joker. I would say that
seems like that's what everything's modeled off of now.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like, I think that was the last good Batman one. I didn't like the one after that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Like, I know everybody really likes the Heath Ledger Joker, and I think that definitely, like, for Heath Ledger, that was, like, his role that arose, like, holy crap, Heath Ledger can do pretty much whatever the fuck he wants to do. You know what I mean? But, like, I think still I like the Mark Hamill Joker the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Hamill, or, I mean, I still like the Michael Keaton Batman.
So do I. That's always been my favorite.
I think the reason why I like that one the most is because it's so dark and it's like gothic looking, and I think that's what Batman should be. It should always be so dark
and comic book looking.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's probably why I like Batman Begins the most, is because it was the most like a comic book.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
But I think the problem I had with the Batman series is it was like he's trying to make everything real, and I'm just like, if there was a guy that dressed up in Batman's armor and he didn't have the powers of Superman or the Flash, he'd be fucking brown bread in like a day. He would go out there and people would just kill him.
Right.
I mean, he would get stabbed, and, you know, maybe he would survive that, but, like, he would go back out and then somebody would shoot him or something. I don't know.
They should make a movie about that.
Sounds like it would be funny, I guess.
Well, Kick-Ass was kind of like that.
Yeah, and that was a little bit more realistic. I mean, if you were like, you know, if you get hurt and stuff and you can't feel pain, yeah, but, like, I guess that was a little bit more realistic because, like, people were dying and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, that's the problem is, like, people really don't...
Batman got burned alive, basically.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
The one guy, yeah. Bad Dad or Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird name for a guy to have.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this, Bioshock?
Yeah.
Actually, what were those things called, Big Daddies? Or? Oh my god! Okay, well, let's move on from this horse shit onto some other horse shit.
Alright.
It's a night that will live in infamy. Wait, that's two different things.
Yes.
A night of total terror.
Right.
Beyond the dawn. Through the night is the day. A night of total terror? What's the dawn of the dead one? isn't it like a dawn of?
I don't know.
I know that the one is like through the night, past the dawn, into the day of the dead. And the dawn one, I know the night is like a night of total terror or something. Or no, that's from the trailer, but I don't know what the tagline is for that.
I don't even know if it had one.
Okay. Well, pretty much what we're talking about now, because I didn't do any setup for this except for to do some shit jokes.
We're gonna do our worst,
yeah,
and best.
Yes, it's
section.
Yeah. This was kind of something we were coming up with: is worst of the best or best of the worst. Obviously, this time it'll be worst of the best because we're talking about George Romero, the Godfather, or the Godfather, the father. He's like, get off zombies. Who can get to the worst Marlon Brando impersonation first?
Oh, these fucking zombies!
Yeah, baby.
Shagadelic. We get to Austin Powers.
Yeah. So, the God.
Bring on the sexy stews, man. Yeah.
The father of the modern zombie.
Yes.
He, and I remember recently, you'd seen him before and stuff, and, I met him finally and when he was talking.
George Romero.
Yes, George, what's A stand for?
A Godfather.
George Albert.
George
Albert
Godfather.
Wesker.
Romero.
A Godfather Romero.
He's a Godfather. He's a freak.
But he was saying, like, somebody asked him, like, what do you think, slow zombies or fast zombies? Like, in my opinion, there are no fast zombies. And I was like, I don't know, like...
That whole thing never really affected me.
Yeah, I mean, like, there are certain things that, like, because until like, Left 4 Dead came out, I was with him on that. But, like, Left 4 Dead, like, is such a great game that I could not see that game being slow zombies, because it would not be challenging.
Yeah. I mean, let's get into it. You're beating me senseless.
The noises. What are we getting into again?
George Romero invented zombies as we know them today.
Yeah, I mean, before that there was White Zombie.
But that was like voodoo.
Right, yeah, well, that's why I'm saying, like, he invented the modern zombie that pretty much everything...
The genre of zombies, which...
Before that, it was just voodoo zombies, which was, like, not really... It was, like, everybody knows what a voodoo zombie is. It's not as cool.
It's the monster that's scary because there's limitless numbers.
Right, exactly.
That's the scary part of it.
Yeah.
So whether they're walking or running, I really don't care.
Right.
It's still the same idea.
I think the slower ones are probably scarier almost because they'll eventually get to you.
Right.
But then again, I guess the faster ones are kind of scary at the moment because like they can like run and get you.
You can't just walk right past.
Right. You can be like, hey, and he's just like,
which they do in some of the later movies.
Yeah, which is kind of smart.
Yeah. But so should we start with the best? We're gonna pick our favorite of the Romero series.
Let's do that. I have a feeling like we'll have different opinions on this, and maybe different opinions on the actual like what the worst one is. But I think they're going to be like
you better not
kind of in the same way. You know what I mean? Like
you never know.
I would be surprised if some of these were top of your list, but
I'm full of surprises. Let's get Paul blooded. Ha!
Okay, so what is? I think I already know what your favorite.
Yeah,
Night of the Living Dead. You probably know what mine is.
Day?
Yes.
All right.
So
let's get into it.
Right. But
why don't we do a quick rundown of the?
Oh, in
series?
Order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
you mean not alphabetical?
Yeah.
Chronological, or the way I have them ranked and you have them ranked?
Let's go chronological. Just to quick hit each one.
Okay.
Say a few words about it.
We're gonna. Okay. So Night of the Living Dead, of course. Kind of wish that I had written this down because I was gonna say like when these movies came out, because I know that like most people know about Night of the Living Dead and stuff, but not everybody's gonna know like every single thing about these movies. And I mean not everything, but they're not gonna know. Hey, what's going on with this?
Yeah, and I don't think we have to.
These people should know, Matt. These listeners must be informed.
You're right.
We're doing a service. Can you do me a kindness?
I can probably get.
Can you do me a kindness?
I can probably get close.
Okay, I put put Night of the Dead. I meant Living Dead. Yeah, you could probably get...
Night of the Living Dead came out in the late 60s. Black and white classic.
No, you're fine.
It came out March 3rd, 1979.
It will be a day that will live in infamy. So go for it,
it's
bro.
it's the original classic. It invented the genre. I think most people who know about movies know about Night of the Living Dead. It's become a legendary movie, which in itself would have been great, but the fact that there's a whole series based on it makes it even better. Next was Dawn of the Dead, the sequel that took place in the mall. It's also become a legendary classic. After that, Day of the Dead, which at the time
It didn't do so well.
it didn't do so well. It was kind of a bomb. Not even critics, I don't think, really liked it. But over time, within the past 10 years or so, it's become just as beloved as the rest of the series. So then, when you thought that was it...
Oh shit, I didn't even put that one on the list.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think about it.
Day of the Dead?
No.
Oh, just when you thought the trilogy was over, 20 years later...
It's a dilogy.
Another one comes out, Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
Which we saw in theaters.
Yeah. And that one guy was dressed as George Romero.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And it'll probably be the first and last George Romero movie we ever see in theaters. Because it was his biggest budget, his kind of...
And it kind of...
most mainstream...
fucking flopped like
movie.
a
It was a huge bomb.
Yeah.
But that didn't discourage old George. He cranked out a couple more sequels.
In fact, what was
That's
funny
what the A
about
stands
this...
for, Bruiser. George Bruiser. Romero.
He waited, what did you say, 20 years to make Land, and then in succession he fucking shit out like 2 more right after that, so it was almost kind of like...
2 more direct-to-video sequels.
Right. Or kind of like Diary was like supposed to be a prequel to everything, right?
You're right. It was a found footage movie for starters, which is funny because back in 1968 or whatever, they didn't have home video.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that there was anything like that because...
But it was supposed to take place at the same time as the original Night of the Living Dead.
I think you're supposed to kind of like look past all the shit with like just be like, this was all the same time.
Right.
But it's like...
And then finally, the last of the series was Survival of the Dead, which took place long after all the other movies and was kind of... Society returned to normal a little bit.
Yeah.
But... and I don't think anyone saw either of those, so they're...
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people on here will be like, what?
Yeah. And there's been rumors that he was going to make 3 more, which I would have been all about.
Yeah.
But
he decided not to?
At this point, he might be over.
I don't know.
You never know.
Who knows? He could fucking eat shit.
Could he?
I could, I guess. Anybody could eat shit. Night of the Living Dead, I just looked up, the tagline is, if it doesn't scare you, you're already dead. That
really?
Makes no fucking sense. Matt, I'm not scared by that wall over there, so I'm already fucking dead.
You're dead. I'll call 911. Oh, wait, the coroner.
Yes, I have a report of a corpse. He's dead.
His corpse is being extremely dead.
You're not even looking at me now, man. It's extremely rude. Okay, so I guess are you gonna rank yours, or did you rank yours at all?
Well,
I guess you could probably rank them off the top of your head, right? Or
yeah, I really picked the best and worst.
Oh, okay.
But I like them all.
I ranked. Yeah, that's the problem. Is I was gonna say it's not that any of these movies. That's why we're saying it's best of, or worst of the best, because it's not that these specific ones are bad. It's just that there are ones we like more than others. Like I would never say that Diary of the Dead was the biggest piece of shit I ever saw.
A lot of people would say that.
Right, but I know I wouldn't. Good. I don't think you would either.
No.
There are certain series we're going to do on here that's going to be best of the worst. They're going to be pretty much all shit, and we're going to try to salvage what we can.
Yeah.
But by this, we kind of started off doing it this way. So I guess we'll do what you already said. Night of the Living Dead was your favorite.
Yes.
That's cool. That's definitely admirable.
It was the first real horror movie I ever saw.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and just the first zombie, kind of slowly walking through the cemetery at the beginning of the movie was pretty horrifying.
I remember I'd never heard of any of those movies, and then you had DVD, and I came over to your house, and you showed it, to me.
Check
with a
out
bunch
this
of
digital
people.
video disc.
Yeah,
You don't even have to rewind it at the end. This is amazing.
I think it was the same day that you showed us like the Austin Powers movie or something, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so awesome!" Not the movie, but like you were like you showed us the part where you can just like play the thing, and it's like, yeah, groovy.
Well,
and
like the animated menu?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it just like plays the song as it's like dun 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 dun, like it's groovy. What a gas! Like all these words, like whoa. But like in Night of the Living Dead, like it started off and it looked like shit, and then it was just like this thing happened on the screen where it was like, psh, and it was like, fucking, we're not messing around. This is THX, we're the company, and then
yeah, it was a funny little joke.
Yeah, but it's
whoever
like
made the DVD.
I've never seen a fucking DVD like that because the first few minutes of the movie are in shit quality.
Yeah,
which is so weird.
it was unwatchable quality, and then it melted away to
fucking awesome,
amazing.
Yeah,
quality.
I was like, holy shit! So. But I remember like seeing the movie, and like when I first watched it, I was like, I don't really get like I don't think I was like scared when I watched it because by that point I was a lot older. Mm-hmm. But it was like
I was.
Well,
we watched it around the same time.
That's true. I was a lot older than you. But I remember
the
like
idea of it,
right? Yeah,
horrifying. If you really sit down and think about it.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why everyone likes these movies, because of you think, what would you do in that situation? Yeah. It kind of makes you think a little bit.
True. What? No. What? But, so you would, like, I don't know, like, I remember watching that, and, like, the first part where that guy comes up, I didn't know what he was at first. I thought he was just a homeless dude. Mm-hmm. And then he, like... And I think he was...
Wait, the movie was called Night of the Living Dead, and you thought it was a homeless dude.
Well...
It's not Night of the Hobos.
I don't know. I think the problem was, since it was in black and white and there wasn't, like, a lot of makeup, or he wasn't really decomposed...
Yeah, he just looked like a weird dude.
Yeah, he looked like a weird dude.
Right.
And it kind of like that's how it was in the movie, because there wasn't a lot of like makeup. It was just kind of like, and some people were naked because it was like they had just returned and they weren't in their clothes or something, and just
right. It was,
rotting corpse.
It was the ultimate low budget movie,
right? And I think they were saying that like they didn't even call them like zombies at that point. They called them like freaks,
ghouls,
or, like, ghouls or something. And it was like, but like. Yeah, I mean...
Which is scarier to me. Like, if I heard someone say, there's ghouls out there, I would shit my pants.
Unless they meant, like, Ghoul Scouts.
Oh! Then I'd
Nobody
get hungry for
fucking laugh at
Thin Mints.
Thin Mints. So, yeah.
So you watched it, you weren't scared, and you hated it, basically.
No.
Which is why you didn't pick it as your best.
No, I think my problem was, I think when I watched it, if I had watched the movie a little bit later... with like maybe by myself, I would have like had more like respect for it, because we watched it all together, and I think everybody was kind of like goofing off,
right.
And like we were fucking horsing around.
Quit horsing off over there.
Yeah, and like I just didn't have the respect for it at that time, and like just because that first viewing, it's kind of become one of those things where I found it like boring, so I need to just go back and watch it again.
Oh yeah. I think it's a legitimately great movie.
But, like, it's from that beginning, I think I thought it was just boring because it was really long, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And we weren't paying attention, I don't think.
It's kind of...
I think you kept being like, fucking pay attention or whatever, and we were like, fuck you.
I hope not.
Well, I just remember, like, stuff like that would happen where we would all be, like, making jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you get a group of, like, guys together, they're going to...
There's going to be some horsing around.
Right.
Some horseplay.
Fucking horseplay. Horseplay!
But it's kind of amazing to me that it turned out so good, because it was just a bunch of amateur...
Like watching the movie?
No, the movie itself.
Okay.
Well, both.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, definitely.
We still remember it.
Well, I know Nate, it was like, I remember Matt showed me that video, like, I guess you showed it to him, like, just the two of you, and he was, like, fucking horrified.
We still talk about it to this day, so it made some kind of impact.
Yeah. I think... I won't say it definitely didn't make an impact, because I didn't know about it before that, and then after that I was like, and I think we went out and got, we did get it, I think, eventually. It was just one of those things where we didn't have a DVD. I think you had all the newest stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't even know what the fuck a DVD was, and you, like, I remember you did, like, a fucking presentation on it before we watched the movie.
Nerd alert!
You were like, DVDs are digital video discs, and you had, like, this thing you had up or whatever, and I thought that was, like, hilarious. But it was, you always like had all the technology and shit. But like Night of the Living Dead, it was really It was definitely one of the most influential horror movies ever to be made.
Yeah, definitely.
Because without Night of the Living Dead, there would be no Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. There'd be no Call of Duty Zombies. There'd be
Walking Dead.
There'd be no Left 4 Dead. There'd be anything with dead in it or zombies. There would be none of it. Now there may be like voodoo zombies, but like who really gives a shit about those? Except for the people that are zombies from voodoo. I guess they care.
Except the people who are attacked by voodoo zombies.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, I care!
So when we first saw Night of the Living Dead was, a long time ago.
I do remember there
be mid-90s.
Okay. Yeah.
And there was the internet really wasn't. It was just a new up and coming thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't know we didn't know everything like we do now.
Right.
So I didn't know when we first
so you
saw
knew
it.
everything.
Yeah.
Tell me how things are, Jesus Christ.
Well, I'll go to Google and tell you.
Google Christ.
We couldn't do that back then.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that there were sequels. So finding out that there was a Dawn of the Dead, a sequel to Night of the Living Dead,
and around that time, they had already or had just been doing the Tom Savini one, right?
Yes.
So, which is Tom Savini, did a remake, which I actually thought that movie was really fucking good too.
I do too.
Yeah,
it's a decent remake.
That you can't really say that's. I probably will say that's the only remake of any of these movies that I consider good.
I may agree with you.
Because Dawn of the Dead remake was shit, I thought.
A lot of people like it.
Yeah, but that's because they don't know anything.
Yeah, I agree. It's not great. It's pretty... It has a few moments.
Yeah, I mean, I think the moment when I tapped out is when they were like, the zombie was born. The baby zombie.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of tapped out before that, but it was just like... It was going for like action, and that's not what good zombie movies are about. And even like Walking Dead, like just... That's good. Obviously, there's action in it, but it's kind of like it reminds me a lot of Night of the Living Dead and all those other movies. It's like the kills are cool, yeah, but like what you really go for is the characters.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes up anything good.
Yeah.
If you don't have characters, you don't have shit.
That's true.
Like it's like storytelling 101. Jesus.
That's why TBS is the best network. Characters welcome.
I thought that was USA.
Damn it. I think I made that joke last time, and I did the same thing.
Did you?
Maybe I didn't.
The last time that we had this exact podcast on alternate reality. So, yeah.
So that's my pick.
Nice.
How about you?
Shut. I don't know. I thought about it long and hard. I would have to say Day of the Dead. It's hard for me to describe why I like this movie because I just got really obsessed with it after going. I remember I went to Best Buy like in high school, and I bought Day of the Dead. It was on DVD, like on a special edition, and I got it, and on a whim I bought it and watched it. Because I really never... I think I saw it once at, like, Kyle Smith's house or something.
Well, we watched it
at
my house after school one day.
Yeah.
We rented the VHS.
That's right. That's maybe that was. Because I remember we were always there at your house or something, so you guys had DVD players and stuff. But, like, I remember, like, watching it and, like, really seriously watching it and was like, this movie's really good. Like... I know, like, there were, so many things about it, like, it was supposed to have, like, a larger scale and all this stuff, but I think, like, the way it turned out was, like, just perfect. I can't really see that movie being any different.
I agree. It's probably a perfect movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better, but the first time we watched it, I really didn't like it.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, too, I thought it was, like, a piece of shit. I was like, what the fuck does this zombie have a gun, and what is all this bullshit? And I remember, like, thinking it was so stupid, and then when I watched it again and kind of, like, saw the whole, like, the zombie is learning, and, like, all this other stuff where, like, the only person that really is, like, sane and kind of cares is, like, the guy that's doing all these, like, experiments, like Dr.
The mad scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, the army people are insane. They're led by, like, someone that's should not be in command. Like... Maybe, I mean, of course the woman is sane too, but, like, other than that, it's like, who else is really, I mean, the helicopter pilot and, like, the radio operator. Like, 4 people out of that movie are not insane.
Right.
And yeah,
I think that's one of the reasons that turned me off, because, like, thinking back, I think I didn't like the movie because I was so horrified by
yeah.
the
Well,
first...
coming off of Dawn was like it was pretty upbeat. I mean, at the end, people get away.
It's almost a comedy.
Yeah,
in parts
it's
of
very comic book,
Yeah.
you know, and like very bright compared to like night, and then you go to dawn, you know, and it's very bright, and you go to day, and it's like
There's nothing funny
it's
about
fucking
it.
dark as shit.
Yeah.
There's like people are dying.
Most of the characters are horrible, like, mean,
Right.
cruel
like
people.
if there weren't other people there, the lady probably would have been raped.
Right.
Like horrible people doing horrible things.
And the gore effects
Yeah.
are probably
best.
the best I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And I mean that in a bad way, because it's horrible
Yeah,
to look at.
yeah, yeah.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, yeah, they're it's pretty ridiculous. Like talking about it, I want to watch it again, but it's definitely one of those things, and the commentary on it's really good too. Especially, I like the commentary with the guy that's like a film director, and he's like a fan and stuff. That was really cool. I've never
Roger
really seen
Avery.
that. Yeah, I've never really seen that on like a disc before.
Yeah. that was a great commentary.
Yeah,
But, like, there's so many things about that movie that will stick with you because they're so disturbing and horrifying. Like,
yeah.
a guy's head getting pulled off and he's screaming.
Oh yeah, and
His
it's like vocal cords. Yeah,
get stretched and the scream
yeah.
like,
It's like
changes.
and it goes higher up, and I'm like, ugh.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
sticks
I think
with you.
the problem was they had
Horribly
Tom
upsetting.
Savini on that, didn't they?
Yeah, oh yeah,
And he
that was like his
actually
masterpiece.
has been in horror. He's actually been in like real life horror, like war.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, I know what happens when you cut this will happen, and I'm like, and he put that to effect, and it's like the same because like him and Greg Nicotero and all those people, it's like they'll do that stuff, and you'll be like,
And Greg Nicotero was in Day of the Dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like this is fucking disgusting.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
super effective.
Like when they cut that guy's arm off and then like solder it. Yeah.
It looks completely convincing.
Yeah. And they did that same thing, and well, no, I forget if they did something. No, that was something else. Never mind. But yeah, it does look very convincing, and I don't think there's a part of that movie that I'm like that looks fake.
Even what's the big guy's name? Steel.
Yeah.
When he is about to get, the zombies are closing in on him,
That-
he's pounding on the door,
Yeah.
and you can see he's actually denting the door because
Yeah.
he's pounding on it like a metal door.
One of the most horrifying things in that movie is because like I don't ever think I've seen this in any of the other ones, is where Steel is about to get cornered and he like commits suicide. He puts the
Right.
gun in his mouth and he like blows his brains out.
Right.
And like I've never seen that in any of the other movies because none of the other characters are like, well, I'm screwed. They like at the end of like Dawn, there's the part where like he's about to kill himself and then
Yeah.
he like decides against it and uses it to get away.
But it's like a split-second decision. He's
Right.
like, oh, they're about to get me. Nope.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah, and then like Steel, it's like he has no choice. He's screwed.
So I think it took me a long time to get past like how upsetting and like disturbing that movie
Yeah.
was to realize that it's also great.
Yeah. It's sad because it's a very tragic movie because you look at it and you're like, the scientist could have probably had an answer to things, and he gets fucking murdered because of the how pissed the one guy gets, the Rhodes.
Right.
So
Who's a great villain,
yeah,
by the way.
there's a lot of great like one-liners and a lot of great like it's very like 80s.
Yeah.
But not in like a cheese. I guess it is cheese somewhat, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's so dark. It can't be like on the same level with like a Rambo or it can't be like Stallone or like Arnold. It's not like at the end of the day everybody goes home happy. It's like, there's only 2 people that I think make it out of that, right? Or 3.
Yeah. But even
that, it's like it's
still
not.
you don't feel great at the end of
Right.
it. You're like, man, that was horrible.
Right, because you're like they're probably screwed.
Right.
Yeah, like you think there's probably like zombies coming through the water to get them, like when they're on that island. It's just like, yeah, you're screwed.
But Rhodes is probably maybe the best character in the whole series. I don't know. There's a few pretty great.
I can't think of a worse person.
I mean, he's kind of over the top and cartoonish, but it works.
Yeah,
Like, because
yeah,
it's an over the top movie.
right. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another character that I like more than Rhodes.
There is
There are heroes that are like cool and stuff, but nobody that I'd be like.
the villain in Diary of the Dead, who also shows up in Survival, is
Oh yeah,
pretty great. He kind of has a little bit of an evil Bruce Campbell thing going on,
right.
But he's
Dennis
no robes.
Hopper in Land is kind of an asshole. He's just kind of a sneaky bastard. He's like, "What's that over there?" Boom, like kills that guy. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good movie.
Great pick.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Did you? Are you going to rank yours at all? Or are you just going to say what the worst is?
I think I'll just go to my worst.
Okay.
Unless you want to.
It's up to you.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts on Day? I don't know. I mean, like I could talk a lot more about it, but I don't really know what more to say that hasn't already been like said.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
The atmosphere is
yeah, I like the whole
there's nothing
thing.
really like it.
Most of the like almost like 95% of the time they're underground in a mine, and that for most movies like a kind of a same location would kind of be like you don't have much to work with. But this is like it feels like there's a lot of things going on down there.
Yeah, it's a original location. Like it was in a real mine.
Yeah, salt mine or
kind
whatever.
of a one of a kind location that we've
Right.
never seen anything like, and it was all real.
Yeah.
And it's really creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, the part where they're like hurting the zombies and stuff is like pretty good. So we're going to take a 10-second break after these messages by something. Okay, so we're back here.
We're back.
Okay, so yeah, so those are our favorites.
We're wrapping up
Yeah.
Day of the Dead. So no final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Go see the movie if you haven't, and see Night of the Living Dead too.
Yeah,
And
Day of the
Dawn.
Dead. It's an amazing movie, a true classic.
Yeah, you have
My worst, Day of the Dead. I'm kidding.
I know you are. You wouldn't say that to my fucking face. I'd pull out your fucking pubes
Jeez.
with your own hands. Wait, what? Anyway, so a look of bewilderment has entered the battlefield. What do you think? You want me to go first since you went first last time?
All right.
Too bad.
We're
Go
gonna do
ahead.
the worst?
No. Yeah, my worst would have to be... This is a toss-up for me because... Like, I had to actually kind of go and look at the synopsis for these two because I kind of forgot because I'd only watched them like once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
And by once or twice, I mean once. I'd have to say Survival of the Dead.
Yeah.
Is that what you say too?
Nope.
No. Diary.
Nope.
Land.
Maybe. Movie so bad it didn't even make your list. Of...
Damn, son. No, Oh shit, I forgot about that one, so...
That's what I mean. That says a lot right there.
It's true. I don't know, I still kind of like that movie, though.
I do too. We have to pick one, right?
Yeah.
That's the rules.
I think maybe Survival of the Dead is just the most unentertaining one to me. And that's why I picked that. It's not because it's like a shit movie. It's not like I was like, that is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen. It's just... When I watched it, I just was very uninterested. I didn't care about the whole like Muldoon versus like that feud and like
right.
And it was like Diary of the Dead. That was good, I guess. You know, it was interesting to watch at least because it was kind of like they had the whole thing where they were unaware that there was actually real zombies and they were filming that horror movie, which is kind of weird for a George Romero thing because not only that, but it's like at the end, like it's supposed to be reality, but she puts like music to it, and it's like she shows her friends' deaths. It's like that's kind of fucked up, but like there were people in Diary of the Dead that were like spin-offs onto Survival of the Dead, like the soldiers, and it's like I didn't really give a shit about those guys, so
I thought the main soldier was pretty cool.
I don't know,
entertaining character to watch.
I think if anything, it had interesting like ideas in it, like the whole thing where like the girl was like still riding the horse Like they'd come back, like Muldoon or whatever his name was got like exiled, and then when he came back with those soldiers, like the other family that like didn't want anyone to be killed, like had chained people into their everyday lives, and it was just really like stupid of them. But it's kind of, I mean, how far have you watched in The Walking Dead?
Through the first 3 seasons.
Okay, so like I'm kind of like talking about how like Herschel was like, you know, we got to keep these people alive for a cure, and it's like
the different philosophies.
Right. It's like we can't kill these people and stuff. But at least Herschel like was like a religious person and kind of like thought that like that would happen. This guy, I felt there was no reason. He was just kind of like an idiot. I don't know. Like, and I think maybe I need to watch it again. The problem was I didn't go back and watch Diary and Survival, and I should have done that. But to me, like they were good movies, and I'll always watch something George Romero related.
Except Bruiser 2.
Well, I should say these movies like Night, Dawn, Day, Land, Diary, Survival. They're all good. It's just which one, when I look back on it, is kind of the one that I wouldn't want to watch again. And there really wasn't much to Survival that was redeeming. Like, at least in, like, say, Land, there were, like, cool Dennis Hopper stuff. There was stuff with John Leguizamo where he's like, I will become a zombie to see how the other side is, which was kind of like, that's stupid, but whatever. It's like, whatever, you are Luigi Mario. Always making bad decisions.
Nice.
Fucking the pest.
He was a pest.
Yeah, he was a freak. But, yeah, just not so much it was a bad movie, just kind of like you could tell that this was not a theatrical. Like, this was not top game Romero. Right. Not that it was bad Romero. I mean, there is no such thing as bad Romero. Even Bruiser. Okay, that movie sucked.
I can't say much good about
it. But whatever. Bruiser, we bring up Bruiser, but that movie was just boring. It might have been the way that we watched it and we were just making fun of it the whole time, but the thing is, like, with
it was so boring we had to, or else we were gonna fall asleep.
A movie with like that is good, you don't have to make fun of it. It's entertaining. Like, I've never watched like Walking Dead and been like, whoa, that guy's about to get killed. You're more like, oh shit, hopefully that guy doesn't get killed. Or like Night of the Living Dead, like, yeah, they do like riff tracks on him and stuff. And it was funny to watch all that stuff because there are stuff, but it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm totally taking this, like, oh, they're right. This movie is a shitty movie.
Right,
like, it's like, no, they're just doing it because that's, you can riff any movie if you try hard enough. It doesn't mean it's a shit movie. It just means the ones that only are known for getting riffed are the shit movies.
Right.
So, I don't know. What do you think about that, Matt?
I can't argue with you. They're not,
like, on the points or whatever.
Yeah, they're not the best.
It's hard, I think, for me because, like, Day, Dawn, and Night are so, like, iconic that it's hard for me to be like to hold like Survival up to that and even think that it's even as close as good.
Right.
It was a tie between Diary and Survival really for me because like even though Land, I think maybe I don't know, Land might be down there too, but it's like I remember watching it and actually kind of thinking it was interesting to a certain degree. Like I thought the idea was interesting that like the zombies were learning and they walked across into like Fiddler's Green and stuff, but I guess really it wasn't a great movie. It was just, I don't know, what do you think about Land?
I like a lot about it, but if I had to pick one,
that would be the one you would
the
probably...
biggest missed opportunity, because like...
Oh yeah, I would definitely say that's the biggest missed opportunity, because it was like Romero's last big chance to like show something on the big screen. Yeah,
all the main characters were pretty bad.
Yeah,
and Romero's not known for great dialogue, but some of the dialogue in that movie was garbage.
It almost seems like it was like it should have been one of these like movies, like Diary and Survival. Like it should have been like straight to video, because there were a lot of times in the Land of the Dead where it was like, I mean, Dennis Hopper is awesome regardless. Like
but he's barely in the movie.
That's true. But I mean, like he'll say something and it'll just be awesome regardless of what he's saying. But like not everybody that can get away with that. Like, a lot of those people in that movie, you are right, they were just like, who gives a fuck about these people? Like, John Leguizamo...
You don't remember Mouse? What a great character.
John Leguizamo is in that movie, and I think the only reason that, like, I cared about him was because he was in Super Mario.
Right. I knew you were going to say that.
How sad is that?
That is. This guy reminds me of that other movie that was also pretty horrible.
And the only reason why I like
Dennis Hopper was in that too.
Is because Bob Hoskins, and Bob Hoskins is one of the greatest people to ever act. Rest in peace.
True point. Fair enough.
Yeah. Fucking, he was Eddie Valiant and fucking Roger Rabbit and Super Mario.
What more can you ask for?
Could have been fucking Lupin the Third. That wouldn't have worked. He's fat. He could have been like Spectre the God. That would have worked. But he had to shave his pubes in the form of it.
I doubt they would have made him do that.
He would have done it despite them. For no reason. So, I don't know. I don't think there's going to be a real... Like, what do you say is your least favorite? Like,
it would have to be Land.
Land. I mean, see, I can't even, like, fight that. Because really, if I would have to rank these, they would shift. Like, Diary, Survival, and
Well,
Land.
you did rank them, but Land isn't even on your list. So, that says it all right there.
Well, I kind of forgot because I was writing this.
Right, exactly.
I did.
There's a reason for that.
The problem
if
is,
it was a decent
like,
movie, you'd remember.
I moved my lips. It was a bunch of gibberish, but the one thing is I forgot about Dre.
Ah!
Okay, so...
Let's get Paul Bloody.
But, yeah, Land... I can see that. Like I said, like, we're not... There's not really a big, like, argument here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not like we really argue, but like last time there was like a big argument. Not an argument, but like we had disagreements. But we've seen these movies, you know. I mean, I know I've seen Dawn, Day, and Night a lot.
Right.
I haven't really seen Diary and Survival on Land for like maybe more than once, and there's kind of a reason for that.
Yeah.
Even though they're good movies, they don't hold the same like entertainment value that the first trilogy does. And even when I saw George Romero, he was like, Day is my favorite of the trilogy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't even know if he knows he made those other movies. Or maybe he meant like, I think he said the original trilogy, but I don't know if, like, why would you not just say, hey, you know, that's my favorite out of all the zombie movies I made.
Right.
He's only made 6.
I mean, George Lucas wouldn't say his favorite of the trilogy was
like,
because it's not a trilogy.
Right.
He made more than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I think of Land of the Dead, the first thing I think of is a zombie biting off a girl's belly button ring.
I forgot about that.
Which is probably my favorite part of that whole movie, just because it was kind of a cool...
My favorite part was Simon Pegg and them being...
They have a cameo for like one frame.
Yeah, which that should have been a bigger cameo. Like, and I heard that Bub was in it, but I don't remember seeing him.
No, Tom Savini was in that.
Yeah, as the
character.
Yeah. Because he died in Dawn of the Dead, and then he got turned into a zombie, and somehow the zombies didn't eat him, I guess.
Yeah, but just throwing in cool cameos isn't enough to make a good movie.
Yeah, I think
unfortunately.
Yeah, we were like super psyched, and I remember like watching it and having mixed feelings about it.
We went to the theater like expecting it to be sold out, like people chanting like Romero, Romero, and there were like 10 people in the theater on opening night.
It didn't help that we went with some people that didn't really give a shit about the movie.
That's true.
Like, it was me, you, and like I think some other people that didn't really give a fuck. And it was like, I don't know.
You made it 30 years too late, George.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
We're still loyal.
Yeah. I mean, I still can't say it was a shit movie. It was just not entertaining enough for me to watch again. I don't know if that makes it a shit movie. I mean, maybe it does.
No, it's a decent movie.
Yeah. I think I own it on DVD. I've just never opened it. Maybe. I can't remember. I don't know. It's pretty much, you can't discount Romero for anything because I don't know what that means. Discount him for anything? If he comes into your store, don't give him a fucking discount.
You can pay his full price. Yeah. George, full price for Romero. That's his nickname.
George Abacus Romero. He has to count out how much money he's going to spend. No. Regardless of like if these three. Let's say these three movies were crap. You know, he invented the zombie pretty much. So you can't. I mean, if you like 28, weeks later, you like 28 days later, you like 28 years later, where the fuck it is now. You like Walking Dead. I mean, that's directly, the person that wrote that. Obviously, without that, I mean, he might have maybe some other person might have thought of it, but George Romero was the first person to really be like, zombies would have probably been different.
Yeah,
they would have.
It was. I think a big influence was I Am Legend, which was vampires, but it kind of introduced that like survival horror.
Yeah, like they definitely say they're vampires, but they're not like vampires as in like they're living in coffins and like it's like there are vampires everywhere. It's more like zombies,
right?
But they don't like. I don't think it seemed like they moved like zombies. They were like. It seemed like some of them were and some of them weren't. Like some of them were like intelligent because at the end
they could
like,
talk and say stuff.
They got because they were like trying to. That's right, they could because
he could talk.
He could. He's a vampire. He could like, they would have like the women would like be like come out and
try to
have sex with them. Right. Have sex with them. Come on, have sex with them. And like that was the guy that wasn't too smart that said that. Like get back here, and they're like chasing him around with a white coat. But like, there was all kinds of cool stuff. I remember reading I Am Legend and like the book, and it was very like it was very eye opening. Like I thought it's one of the only books that I've read like cover to cover like in such a short time.
Right.
It was
it's a great book.
So good.
I think Romero said that was a big influence on him. Also, Carnival of Souls. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It came a few years before this, and it's more like ghosts.
Really?
But some of like the images of like a bunch of figures kind of walking around a landscape is from Carnival of Souls. So, but having said all that, George Romero still deserves almost all the credit for...
What was that one movie that we watched, like Serpent and the Rainbow, that we thought was going to be a zombie movie?
Yeah, well, that was more of a voodoo.
Yeah, that was boring as fuck.
Yeah. Wes Craven. He's no George Romero.
What else has he made? I forget. Did he make like...
He's made Nightmare on Elm Street was like his big thing, and Scream.
Those were pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, Scream, I think, kind of like...
But for every one of those movies, he's made like 10 that are garbage.
His biggest role was a cameo in Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, right?
Was he in that?
I think so. I think he was like...
Sounds about right.
He was like, what the hell, Wes, or whatever, and he's like... It was like in the Scream part or whatever where the monkey ends up being like the killer. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like Shannon Doherty's like, what the hell is this shit? She's like, really? And he's just like... Anyway, so we went from that to Jane Silent Bob.
So we're going to have to do a best and worst of the Kevin Smith movies.
Well, they're all going to be best for me. No, they won't.
That's against the rules, Mike.
I know. Well... Should that be next week then?
So let it be written.
So let it be shed.
Ah!
Dog style. Okay, so yeah, next week we will do the worst of the best of Kevin Smith, because that is another person that, I mean, I'd say overall...
He's a franchise onto himself.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's created a franchise. He's the franchise player. I don't think he's ever been called any of these things, but we just did.
What, you mean Kevin the franchise player Smith? The godfather of...
Soul? The Who Train!
Wow!
I feel good.
Kevin Smith feels good.
I knew that I cha-ching.
Before we wrap up, there's one more thing I want to talk about.
Oh.
With the
like Mike.
George Romero trilogy.
I'm deadly having diarrhea.
Because even though we did our best and worst, I really have a best that I have been saving this whole time.
Above night?
Yes.
Into the dawn and through the day.
Beyond the day.
Beyond the day.
I'm talking about Night of the Living Dead Special Edition. With additional scenes filmed in the 90s.
By
John Russo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Romero. It's gonna make you a bitch.
So in the 90s, John Russo filmed some additional scenes
Yeah.
For Night of the Living Dead and inserted them into the movie. And it basically improves the movie in every possible way. So it takes it from like an A plus to like an A plus plus.
It's pretty seamless, like, with...
Yeah, I mean, when you're watching it, you can't even tell which scenes are new and which scenes aren't, because it's so flawless.
Yeah, with like the original guy, they brought him back, and you can't even tell that he's like 1,000 years old.
Yeah, were they using CGI then, or I mean, I don't even know what kind of technology could make something that amazing.
And I know that like definitely the scenes that they filmed, they didn't just go into like Adobe Premiere and go to the black and white tool and press that.
Right, because that would look like horrible shit.
Yeah, and
he redid the score too.
Yeah, and for a good reason.
Yeah, the original was terrible, not even atmospheric at all.
Yeah,
and the new one, it was done with I think like MIDIs, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I was actually the only thing I kind of was like pissed is they didn't use kid picks.
Oh yeah, that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah. But of course we're like lying. This is a real thing, but
believe it or not, all of that actually happened.
Yeah, except for kid picks.
Well, it might as well have been.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics were. It was a joke.
Actually, maybe we should talk about the remakes too, just very briefly.
Yeah.
Too. But we'll talk about this real quick. I mean, I don't have anything against like that guy. He seems like a nice enough guy, but it was kind of like fucked up because it was like, why would you go back and shoot scenes that like I could see him doing that and being like, hey George, check this out, this is kind of fun, like a fun secret thing, but to like release it for people to fucking pay money for and to call
I did like a sucker,
to call it the 30th anniversary or whatever it was of like Night of the Living Dead, and like the cover actually doesn't look too bad, but then you fucking get the movie and it's like, I remember like I have that because you didn't want it in your fucking house.
Yeah,
you were like, take this, I don't want to ever see this again.
I was about to throw it away and I thought maybe
you pawned it off on me.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not better than throwing it away, I don't know, but
no, it's cool to have it around because who fucking would want it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, it really is George Romero's fault because he screwed up.
Yeah, there's no
they
copyright
forgot to
on
copyright
that
it.
movie.
They just didn't think about it.
We could film scenes if we wanted to, and we could actually call it like Matt and Mike present George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead,
right?
And like nobody could do a fucking thing about it.
It's public domain, so
that's why you can riff it if you want.
Yeah,
because like things that are public domain, you can riff. So if anybody,
I bet that DVD is now, you could probably sell it for hundreds of dollars on eBay
to a guy that eats his own shit.
Well, I always think back to Harry Knowles' review of the special edition.
What'd he say?
He said it was worse. Watching that movie was worse than when he had to identify the corpse of his mom who burned alive in a fire and died. Now that's criticism.
It's probably not true. He's like, wow, this is fucking horrifying, but not as bad as when I saw Night of the Living Dead, the remake, or the fucking 30th anniversary. I'm glad she's fucking burned alive. But this is indeed my mother. I think, the biggest thing about that's just so weird is that, like, they worked together and everything on the original movie, and then he kind of, like, went and shot the scenes, and, like I said, it wouldn't be a big deal if he was like, hey, George, check this stuff out, like, this 30th anniversary, this is kind of funny, right? Mm-hmm. But he must have thought it was serious enough to put it on a DVD and charge people money for it, because
it was so amateurish.
Yeah, and that's what's the sad part is, it's like 30th anniversary, Night of the Living Dead, that's a huge fucking deal. And it is very amateurish. It's like you can totally tell which scenes are different because it's like they didn't even try to like match the same. Like they didn't even get old cars.
Right.
Like
I think they did the Macarena at some point, which that wasn't around in the '60s.
They're like, hey, I'm like Macarena. The extended edition I used to have.
Bub pops up. He's like, bap, da da, bap, da da, bap.
But yeah,
and other '90s things.
Yeah, it was crap.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't see the whole like. I didn't go through the DVD ever, honestly, so I don't know what else is on there. But I remember you showing me it, like showing me the scenes and being like, check out all this horse shit, and I was like,
And funnily enough, that was, I think, a year or two before Star Wars Episode 1 came out. So that was, the first indication that prequels or origin stories
yeah.
or inserting new scenes into old movies are all horrible ideas.
Yeah. Well, didn't George Lucas kind of do that anyway before the prequels?
Yeah.
And honestly, like, okay.
But the scenes that they inserted in were like origins to what happened to the characters before the movie, kind of like spliced in.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't need to see that.
Right.
It doesn't
not only that,
add anything to it.
Not only that, but let's talk about Night of the Living Dead 3D.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that have the Night of the Living Dead name.
Because you can just do that if you want.
That are garbage.
Like, you can go out and me and Matt could make, the prequel to Night of the Living Dead. And we could do it and nobody could fucking do anything about it because...
I think people are doing that as we speak.
Right.
Like, every couple of years there's a new Night of the Living Dead.
Right. And I remember we saw that and I think that was a prequel.
Yeah.
And it was the worst shit I've ever seen.
It was just amateurish, crappy.
And I remember getting out of there being sick because the fucking 3D didn't work for shit. And you couldn't watch it without the glasses either. Right. I watched like half the movie without the glasses though because I was getting sick.
It wasn't even like the new 3D
it wasn't like you put on
the red lens and the blue lens.
Right. It wasn't like actual 3D that kind of works and you put on the stuff and it doesn't make you sick. It was like... beware the 50-foot ant people, like from the fucking 50s and shit. Like, wow, this doesn't work with crap.
It's like, after this movie, you want to go to the sock hop?
Yeah. It's like, hell yeah, man. So, I can't remember. There's tons of Night of the Living Dead stuff, but there's only one Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yes.
With Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames with the big tank.
Finally paying off.
Yeah.
But, I think we kind of spoke about that a little bit already.
I thought it was decent when it came out. Yeah, I watched it again about a year ago and did not like it has not aged well. It's just a bunch of really annoying characters. Like, not very
I think
good
the only person that was worth anything was Ving Rhames.
Yeah, and he's kind of off by himself for the most part.
Yeah, so he's up on the roof, like, working out, I think, right? And,
yeah.
Like, they have the guy across the way with, like, has all the guns and stuff.
Right. There's some CGI effects in that movie that have not aged well, so it might have looked decent at the time, but going back now, it's like, yikes, not good.
Yeah. Apparently, they've done a Day of the Dead remake, which I have not seen and probably will not because Ving Rhames is in it for some reason. I don't know why he would be in that movie.
Right. It's just another indie movie that they're using the title for. I think it even has a sequel.
Yeah. Which to me, it's like, why? Like, I don't think there's anything remake or anything with Diary of Survival or Land because those are kind of what they are anyway. I don't know. Was there anything else? I mean, of course, the Tom Savini remake of Night was the only one I would say is even worth talking about.
Mm-hmm. Night of the Living Dead, I think, is one of those movies I wish they would keep remaking every few years.
Yeah,
because it's
eventually someone's going to get it right.
Yeah,
besides Tom Savini. But yeah, that one was good because in the original they had the woman was she was pretty much useless even to a fault of the character.
Right.
But in the other one
she gets punched out and is just asleep on the couch for half the movie.
It's the extreme opposite. She is like Sigourney Weaver from Aliens. She is a badass and the Ben or whatever character, he's still in it, and I can't remember if there's Mr. Cooper, but I think pretty much all the same people are in it. Right. I can't remember. I think at the end she just walks away because they're so slow.
Yeah, she realizes, hey, you can just walk past them. And
I think she even had said that at one point, or somebody said that, and they were like, no, we got to hole up in here, and they get torn to shreds or something, and it was really. I thought it was a really good movie. I mean,
plus it has Tony Todd. I think that was one of the first movies he was in.
Yeah,
he was the lead.
Ben.
And he's pretty great.
Yeah, he's pretty hammy in that movie.
But that's okay.
But it's good because it's one of those movies where, you definitely have to. It's like
you think he's hammy. The Mr. Cooper is the ultimate ham. You're a bunch of yo-yos.
In the original one?
No, in the remake.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Y'all are a bunch of yo-yos.
Who plays him in that?
It's Tom Towles He's in like a lot of horror movies.
What kind of last name is Towles?
I don't know. He's kind of weird.
What's his name again?
Tom Towles.
Tom Towles and Tony Todd.
In Tied to the Tipping Tent.
But yeah, like he. Some of the lines he gives, Tony Todd, are just so.
Yeah, there's some weird.
Like when he's describing like what happened with the whole like, what was it? Like he's driving and like he's like I just saw these freaks or whatever, and it's like he's like enunciates things for no reason. Like he'll be talking. Like if I was talking to Matt, it's like yeah, you know, like, the other day I had lunch and I had tacos. And it's like why?
Have you got any shotguns?
Yeah. Like, why would you say it like that? Just say, do you have any shotguns here at the house? Or yell the whole thing like, do you have any shotguns? He's like, do you have any shotguns? It's like, Jesus.
He was amped in that movie.
But, I need to see that movie again because I haven't seen it in a long time. There were some good effects, like they had the big fat farmer guy, zombie, I think, right? Or
yeah, I remember watching in some of the interviews, Tom Savini wanted to have, like, what you rarely see in movies is, like, a bullet hit to like someone who's doesn't have a shirt on, and they do that in this movie. And
nice.
It's pretty effective.
Because a lot of times when you do that, like you can just be like, oh, that was fake behind there.
Well, yeah, you just have a squib and you put it under someone's shirt and you tear the shirt and then
right.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, but the other way is like, damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can even say about the Dead series. I mean, Shaun of the Dead, that's not part of the series, but that's definitely one of those movies that came out of this was like
a tribute to it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what landed them that role in like Land of the Dead, which kind of sadly was only like 3 seconds, but like they did such a great job with, Dawn of the Dead was one of those movies that you watch it and you're just like, it brings that same kind of feeling you get from like Day and Dawn and Night and stuff, and you're like, oh, this movie is really, really interesting and really cool to watch. It's comedy horror, but there are definitely horrific things that happen in that movie. But it's kind of like there's enough funny stuff where you're not just like, And
it's just a good, like, well-made movie.
Right, overall. Yeah.
Just as much of a classic as the originals.
True. So, I guess that's it for us. Next week we will talk about Kevin Smith and all of his wonderful movies he's done. But, of course, there can only be one...
one best,
and one worst. Yeah, so
if you're not first, you're last. Wait, that doesn't quite apply. But.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Actually, if you're not first, you're actually probably second.
You could be any position.
Well, if you're not first, you're first loser.
True. Or what if you're third?
Well, you're second loser. So we're stretching
your logic.
We're stretching just like Taffy. Yeah, okay. So I guess we're going to sign off, Matt. Do you have anything else to say?
See you next week. Or next time.
Yes, next week sounds good. Okay, well, thanks for listening, guys. As usual, check it out on Natural D20 on YouTube, and I'm going to try to put this stuff up, like do something on iTunes. So if people out there are into the Apple stuff, we can do that. And if you're not listening to it through either of those, how did you find this? Yeah. Tell us. It's amazing. Yes, you're listening to us right now. You're actually behind us. We're dead.